Alright, welcome back, hookers, to the Cattin' and Chattin's season end gear review. Today we're going to be going over the Kastking 9-foot 2-piece bait casting rod and my first ever catfish reel, the Abu Garcia Ambassador 6600 STX. The rod on this thing, I have nothing but good things to say about the Kastking rod. We've gone over the Kastking rods in the past. We love them. I have never had a worry in the world about the Kastking rods. They're strong, they're durable. We got this year at the Catfish Conference in February, and I've been fishing with it this whole season, and it's held up amazing. Again, I love the fact that it's simple, elegant black, little highlighter green for the little bit of pop for their logo. This has their little Kastking Cat Tech, and of course they have the green threading at the eyelets, and these eyelets, just like Jay's other rod, are all Fuji eyelets. And I've been casting nothing but braid out of these this whole year. No grooves, no nothing, no problems whatsoever. Now, speaking of braid, I do have a bone to pick with a particular company. Those of us out there, and different strokes, different folks, I understand. But this spider wire is what I'm running on here. The spider wire 65-pound test braid. It's flat. The cross section of it is flat.
It's like micro ribbon.
It's like micro ribbon. And let me tell you, if you backlash this stuff, you might as well cut it off, because you're going to be spending way more time trying to fix it and reeling it in than you will be cutting it, reeling it in by hand, and retying your entire rig.
It's a fucking nightmare.
It is a fucking ludicrous nightmare.
How many nights have we stood at
Oh my god, I don't want to know.
Flashlight helping you.
I don't even. You can't even count how many times this micro ribbon of doom. I mean, my other reels have the Power Pro braid. Love that shit. I've even casted Jay's bait casters, which have the Kastking, that have the Kastking braid on it. And that stuff, amazing. Spider wire, crap. I don't understand why you guys went with the flat ribbon. It doesn't sit right in the rod. It will bury itself into the reel itself, to where when you cast, it will actually go over itself because it's flat, and it will tie what I can only describe as a flat knot that is impossible to see. And with meat hooks like us, you ain't getting it out of there. You just ain't. Now, the rod, back to the rod. Love the Kastking 2-piece 9-footer. I have a bad back, and I can still cast this thing. It helps so much that they put the time and effort in to the handle material, attention to detail all the way. Your hands are wet, slimy, dealing with catfish, bait, worms, doesn't matter. You use this thing for anything, and it hasn't loaded up with gum, gunk, or anything else. It is still just as tactile grippy. Doesn't matter what's going on. The reel. Now, this reel and these lanterns were bought at the same time. Now, we're going to use one of Jay's lanterns to show the wear and tear that has happened over the, what, 4 or 5 years? 5 years?
4 years.
4 years that we've had this. Because this is my very first purchase for catfishing. Because where I come from, it's all about trout. And Jay turned me on to the catfishing scene. And I was like, okay, well, I want a decent rod, a decent reel. And this rod, or this reel, used to be on the cursed rod.
Yeah.
The
Ugly stick.
The ugly stick catfishing rod. And this reel on that rod, it casts amazing when it doesn't have the spider wire on it. This reel, the 6600 STX, has the thumb bar release. Have never had a problem with it engaging while I was casting. It'll take everything that you throw at it and more. The paddle handles on it, I mean, it's my first reel, so I didn't know at the time if I liked the paddle handle or the power handle. I mean, I would like to switch it over to the Abu's power handle, which is what I'm going to probably end up doing with the Rover 70 to Frankenstein that, but that's in another video. You should go check out that video. But over the 4 years that I've had this reel, I picked up a little rashing up here. I mean, it's been bounced around in the back of the truck, laid out on concrete, gravel, anything. It's been laid out on anything you can think of from the bank. This reel is amazing. I love the Abu reels. In fact, I would never buy another Rover if the Abus were the same price point. For the price you pay for this, you're not getting... Rovers. Yeah, you can buy almost 2 Rovers for. And they're a lot bigger. They have more line capacity. But again, the casting with this, when it doesn't have the spider wire, is smooth as butter. It is a dream to cast. It's a dream to fish with when it doesn't have that line on it. I've been trying different line this year to see what I like, what feels good, what, you know, the pros and cons, and giving the channel the opportunity to see different rods, different lines, and get our take on what's going on. I don't even know what else to say about it. I mean, it's fucking...
Bait clicker.
The only downside to this entire reel from Abu Garcia, the STX, the 6600 STX, well, mine anyways, I'm pretty sure they're all this way. The bait clicker is engaged by a switch on the side.
It's a sliding switch.
It's a sliding switch, which really, it depends on your take. I don't really care for it, but I don't really mind it either. The one thing I do mind, however, is the clicker just is the quietest.
It's about as quiet as that bait feeder reel that I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's no joke. Literally so quiet. If there's any wake, waves, current, you're talking to somebody, if you're not paying attention to your rod, you won't even know you have a fish unless you're standing right on top of it. And I'll say this, it could be just me because the 3M earplugs didn't do shit for me while I was overseas. And I'm deaf as shit. So I get that. It might just be me and it might be loud as shit to somebody else, but to me it is quiet.
It's quiet. It is.
The other gripe, and about the only gripe that I've ever had against the rod itself, which is the Kastking Cast-Tech 9-footer, the only complaint that Jay and myself have,
the 8-footer has this problem as well,
is when they're a 2-piece configuration for storage or transport. Anyways, the only complaint that I have about Kastking at all for their rods, their reels, at least for the 70, the Rover 70, is the handle and the disengage for casting. Sometimes it re-engages. For their rods in general, is that the eyelets line up, but then you're left with a tip sticking out,
8 inches
about
of rod tip.
9 inches of rod tip sticking out past here.
Primed to get busted off.
Just begging for a toddler or, you know, a kid or someone who's slightly inebriated to slam into a car door or step on or slam down. That is my only complaint about this entire rod, is that the tip, I mean, come on, guys. You guys are geniuses. You guys have thought out through all this attention to detail with the knob at the back being able to grip for extra casting stability, the handle material. I mean, even the Fuji, going out of your way and getting the Fuji reel seat, and the hook keep on here, that's just like the other Kastking that we've gone over before in previous videos. I mean, this thing is amazing for when you need it. I haven't had a problem with it. I didn't cut my finger.
Yours weren't better.
Mine wasn't bent the wrong direction. The eyelets, amazing. Everything about this rod is amazing, save for the fact that the eyelets line up back here. I mean, you could have put another eyelet or made this eyelet for here, up here.
I would say just put another one on.
So that way, your rod tip isn't sticking out a country mile, just waiting to get broken. So that's one thing. If you buy a Kastking rod, you need to make sure that you're careful, because when you break them down and you go to put them in storage or transport them in your vehicle or what have you, you got a tip sticking out almost a foot.
Well, we'll show them the bungees we use to solve that problem. Imagine that I don't have one. But guys, when you're if you do have one of these rods, simple fix that we've done with these is, instead of doing it all the way like that, just to be safe, we level it up end to end. And then we use either mini bungees with the little balls. They're meant for tarps and stuff, but we wrap around a couple times, loop over the ball, and it holds the rod good. I've got some Velcro straps on some of my rods that work good. You can buy the Velcro and the bungee ball grip things at Walmart. They're cheap as hell. You get a whole package of them at once. I bought the Velcro strips at Harbor Freight actually, but they work great. I got them on my other surf rod, which I'll be showing in another video. And it keeps your rod together where it's supposed to be at, so your tip don't get screwed up.
And also the other bonus about doing that, a bonus nachos as it were, is that you can put your weight in the wrap, so you don't have your 3 ounce or better no roll smacking into your rod causing nicks, which, as everyone knows, I mean, you get a nick in the rod, it may be no big deal now, but when you load up on a bigger fish, not that I've caught a big enough fish for it to be a problem, but goddamn, I try, it causes a weak point, and your rod could snap at that spot because of the nick from your weight smacking into it. Now, we've been using this reel and these lanterns for years, and Jay swears by these things.
Well, just to give an idea, we've been using, most of you cat fishermen know nighttime's our thing. That's when most guys are out. We do fish daytime, but nighttime just seems to be the it's relaxing and everything else. But anyway,
you're not sweating your balls off.
Yeah, you're not sweating your balls off in the sun. You're not burning your skin. It's all good. Nighttime's great. We love it. So just to give you an idea, this is a basic Walmart cheapo Ozark trail lantern. takes, I think this is 4D or 4C. 3D batteries, which, wow, them a little corroded.
Well, those batteries have been in there, what, almost a year?
Yeah. Cool thing is they are LED lanterns, so you'll get a whole season out of a set of batteries if you do it just right. But I can't really complain too long. This lantern's lasted for a while. I modified it myself. Took some Mylar gift wrap and tried to put the shiniest side in, put a little tape on the side. I believe that's black Gorilla tape holding it on there, which has been on there for years, has not came off. And that keeps you from, when you got these set out watching your rods or on the water, so you don't get blinded from behind. Yeah, them batteries are corroded because it's got a loose connection. Bright that side and keeps you from getting blind on the back. So Ozark Trail, yeah, connection's really fucked up. It's got 2 settings, light and low. I really can't tell a difference. There's a slight difference, but it ain't much. But for the most part, these lanterns have been dropped, kicked, dropped in the water. They're not bad. I mean, I think I spent $10 on this one. I think the price is now like 12 or 13 for this one. It's not bad. You get a lifetime of runtime on a set of batteries. The only problem I had with it is the top here has cracked underneath here, so it is a little flimsy. But like I said, it's been dropped and everything else, and it's still holding together. I just put a carabiner and some JD's paracord on there because we can hang it off of whatever we're doing, and especially if we're at spillways and stuff like that where they got a railing, wrap the bungee cord around there, or not the bungee, the paracord, and you hang your lantern. Especially like when we're casting it for bait. But yeah, that was a good, because I'd originally had an old style Coleman white gas 2-mantle lantern, and I got tired of fucking with the mantles, got tired of filling it up with gas, replacing seals and everything else. Gas is just, I'm done with it. I'm batteries and electric all the way from now on. But you got that one, and then I upgraded the year after I bought this one. Went on Amazon, and
so it's about 3 years old.
3-4 years, something like that. I can't pronounce the name. I think it's Wagan or Wagan, W-A-G-A-N, Wagan Tech or Wagan Tech. It's a rechargeable LED
it's
lantern.
It's the Fagan Tech.
Yeah, the Fagan. This little light, I can't, it's fucking amazing. It doesn't take batteries. It's rechargeable. It's got a battery meter on it. You push a button. Right now I've got 3 bars left out of 4. This thing will run all night on high. Not a problem. It comes with its own USB charging cord that wraps around. It's got a little magnet that holds the clip up here. Plug this into your regular little charger, let charge. I think completely dead, it takes like 3 or 4 hours to charge. Once you're done, you just coil that back up on there, clip it on there. Does not fall off. I've not had any issues with that coming off. You can also charge your phone off of it. It has a USB port on it. It's got little metal clips on it to where you can hang it off of whatever. Has magnets on it. I don't really have anything metal. Oh, maybe here on the ladder. Yep. Magnets to hold it up where, like, I've used it quite a few times working on cars. You stick it to the bottom of the hood and you're all good. You got light. You push twice to kick it on high. You can use it as a flashlight, which, let's see here. We'll turn off the regular light here. That's how bright it is, guys. This thing is fucking amazing. And it was fairly cheap. I think I paid like $26 for this thing. Has the high, that's the low, and it also has a flashing. But then the other cool thing is, we'll turn it back on here, it's a lantern. And we've used this thing, I do not know how many different times.
Oh God, countless.
Well, the only bad thing I got to say is you can't set it with the battery up top because eventually, well, My O-ring, I think it's in there that seals it, has worn a little bit, and after about 10 minutes, it'll slowly start to slide down on itself. So just flip it up like that. It ain't got no weight on it, and it stays open. But the thing is great. That's what the 1000 lumen light aimed at it, and it's bright as hell. But you go for hours on it. It's great. Doesn't take any bulb, no batteries. It's just I think it's a Cree LED bulb that's in there. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've had it for like 3 years. Just a great little thing, and it's perfect. It fits in your hand. It's about the size of a, let's see, we'll put it up here. Yeah, right about the size of a beer can. Yeah, good little light. And then we got this year's purchase that JD made to replace his.
Oh yeah,
he had the bigger of the Ozark Trail lantern. I think his took like 4D batteries.
Yes, it took 4D batteries, and it was the big brother of your lantern.
And it finally took a shit this year.
Yeah,
so.
it finally died this year. And I was trying to be all awesome and be like, oh, right, I'm going to get a brand name that I can trust. And this goes to show you that you can't trust brand names nowadays because they all make cheap pieces of shit. I bought this Coleman lantern this year. Like, what? I bought it in July.
Yeah, for the Ohio River trip.
Yeah, it was for the Ohio River trip in July. I bought this thing, and I mean, come on, Coleman. You used to be, you know, the name of quality. Everything on here is chintzy plastic. I mean,
except for the handle.
This little handle here that I got, I mean, they give it to you to secure it, right? And my other one, like this, the big brother of this one, has the metal clip. I mean, we've hung this thing off of God knows how many railings over how many rivers, lakes, streams that we fish. Never had a problem. First time I tried to hang this from my backpack as I'm going down the trail, the thing springs open, overextends, and bends the handle just from sitting under its own weight. And this isn't even steel or anything like that. This is like
Chinesium.
Yeah, definitely Chinesium. I mean, you can't
even latch right.
You can't even latch it right without it putting under tension.
It's bright. I'll give it that.
It's got two settings: your standard low and your high. And I mean, I thought it was the biggest piece of shit purchase I've ever made.
What does it take? D batteries?
I think. Yeah,
4Ds.
It takes 4D batteries. And, you know, I got it because I was like, oh man, I need a new lantern. I want to replace the bigger lantern that I have. Because when we go out, you know, it's always good. 2 is 1, 1 is none. And I didn't have a big lantern, so I wanted to have one just so we had an extra light. I needed to replace my one, the Ozark Trail, that took a crap. And I got this. I spent like $40 on it. It was almost 40 bucks for this lantern. And I tell you what, I regret it every single time. I mean, I regret it so much that I haven't even put the reflective mylar or aluminum foil on the back to stop the light from blinding us. Normally, we just set it underneath the camera behind the bucket so Jay and I are out of the light if we use it. That's if we use it. So don't waste your money on these Coleman lanterns. They suck fucking ass.
Well, I gotta say, the gas lanterns are good. They're just a lot of pain in the ass. But if you're gonna go with Coleman, go with the old style, like the, you know, anything metal or anything. It's all good stuff. But this new cheap plastic shit, it's
and I haven't even dropped it yet. I mean,
yeah,
we've dropped that. We've dropped this one. Oh,
this thing's rolled down spillways.
Rolled down a bank or two.
Everything.
Went for a swim one time. This thing, you look at it wrong, the thing will explode. I mean, one drop and it's going to break. It'll be unserviceable.
She said about 40 bucks, and I spent
the same
a little
amount.
over 20 for this.
Yeah.
It's rechargeable. It's a lot more compact. It's sturdy hangers, like I said. You can use one or both, either way. This thing's just been great. And it's a dual use.
Yeah, and I would buy almost 2 of these ones for the price of 1 of these crap Coleman's any day of the week.
They do make these. It's not rechargeable. Also, they sell. They're cheaper. That just take, I think it's like 4 AA batteries. I don't have one. I haven't tried it. I don't know how good they work. But I bought this one just because I love rechargeable stuff. I hate buying batteries. It's a pain in the ass hassle, especially when you get to the lake and realize your shit's dead already.
Well, plus I mean, almost everybody has a charger for their car for their phone.
You push the button.
You can just charge it
dead.
up.
I need to plug it in and charge it on the way.
On the way. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button, motherfucker.
Subscribe, motherfucker.
And remember to hook 'em deep and wet.